27 June. It's morning time, about 10 a.m. I ran out and got payment from my customer. She paid the whole bill. She tried saying that last time I was there when I painted those 6 boards the other day that she didn't understand the bill and, all this bullshit. But, I always write my shit out. It was all written out. I'm happy I got paid. I didn't think I was going to. I thought it was going to be more of a drawn out process. And this is what I'm talking about, going back to like my CPTSD, right? Is, this woman texted me. We had a great relationship. I mean, perfect customer relationship. And then, that one night, she just texted me it was over 50 text messages in less than, an hour and a half or whatever it was. Very detailed, very long text messages. Saying every kind of nasty thing you can about somebody, pretty much, And it was out of the blue. It came out of nowhere. I know she's got, okay, the reason I'm even fucking talking about this is because I'm trying to figure this out. I know she's got major trauma. And that being said, that's no excuse for what she did, And so the thing is, so this is how she approached it. When I showed up the other day to paint her 6 boards, she comes out and she's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Da, da, da. Like nothing happened. I'm sitting there like, "Oh my God, what the fuck?" Yeah, and then she was like, "Hey, I told you I have problems with text messages. I sent you a text the other day, and she meant to say one word instead of another, I guess. And I guess she was referring to one of those fucking 50 text messages. So she didn't even acknowledge that she sent any of those fucking text messages. I didn't bring it up because, it's fucking nuts, dude. I'm trying to get this money in the bank so that way I can pay my rent and my fucking child support for this month. 3 days, it's another month. So that's, this bitch sitting around with all this goddamn money like it's not a thing, and doesn't realize how it affects me. So that's what I'm saying is I tie this back to, again, the programming from when I was a child, my subconscious programming that I'm not aware of, but now I'm aware of, and I'm trying to figure out how to deal with this situation because I'm trying. And this is why I'm saying, okay, so I had a customer completely talk all this shit to me. Had me scared to death that I wasn't going to get paid. Had me in a corner, basically, for the past week over this fucking thing. So basically using me. Using her fucking money and her fucking power position to fuck me. To purposely fuck me. For her own entertainment. And what I'm saying is when I showed up to get my check today, again, when I showed up to paint the 6 boards, she was super nice. Super fucking nice. And again, like, the only thing she said regarding those text messages was, "Oh, I think I sent you a text message today, and I said this word instead of this word." It was very weird. And then, so I showed up today, super nice again. And that's how my situation with my mom was throughout my whole life. Abuse, and then super nice, like nothing happened. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's what it brings me back to. And my initial reaction, okay, so I know what my initial reaction from my subconscious programming as a child would be. It would be to say, water on the bridge. Fuck, I gotta make money. Let's do it. She lives right down the street. It's the perfect scenario, blah, blah, blah. That's me. That's the old me. Okay? But now I'm sitting here and I'm going, fuck this. Now, the old me would also be like, fuck this bitch. You know what I mean? So I'd have that relationship, but I'd have that dichotomy in that relationship. It'd be like a love-hate relationship. Abuse me some more so that way you can pay me and I can love you. I mean, it's fucking weird, man. And this goes right back. This is exactly what my mom did my whole life, was abuse me in whatever form, shape, or fashion. As I got older, it was physical abuse as a young child. Not young, but up to the age of 15 or whatever. And then it's been mental and spiritual and, psychological abuse. So, abuse and then smiling and acting like nothing happened. So it fucks with your head. You're sitting there carrying all the baggage while they're sitting there fucking off and thinking it's just a game and they can do whatever the fuck they want. It's not acceptable. So now this even helps me more because I was on the way back home just now and I'm like, do I fucking go back and work for this bitch? And I think I'm answering my own question. Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck her for treating somebody like that. Beware to anybody that ever works for this fucking woman. And I think that's the issue, is because I let myself get close enough to this woman. Okay, see, when I worked for her a few years ago for the first time, I didn't work for a couple years until a couple years again, which was just recently, this past last year. And since then, I've done tons of work for her. But she's been in that house for 20-something years. She didn't have a dedicated handyman or person. So she was calling any little thing she needed done. She'd call this person, she'd pick up, call that person, call this person, call that person. She'd have 50 different people for 50 different things. Well, then I got there last year and she just started using me for everything. So it's a weird situation, man. She's been hiding in that house. I know she has been completely traumatized, doing all these different things, looking outwards for all her help, to solve her issues instead of in. And I mean, I'm not judging her, but I have to get a hold of this situation because it's a mind fuck. That's how bad, people are like, fuck, that was 40 years ago when you were a kid. Oh, no, man, that's what I'm trying to say. This is how this CPTSD works. You don't even realize. Look, my friends and family that know me, they know I've always said, what happened in your childhood is your childhood. Once you're 18, you make all your decisions and your life's there from on out. You can't blame anybody else. That's always been what I've said. Always. I've never deviated from that until now. Until recently, because now I understand that that between the ages of 0, from the time you're born to 7 years old, is when all these fucking programs get put in your head. And then, up until, actually it's like 23, you're still very, very, very programmable. And then, of course, with trauma's a whole different story. Trauma, all you have to do, all that you got to do to be programmed with trauma is to be broken down. So somebody traumatizes you, they call you an idiot, they make you feel stupid, and then they build you back up, and that's how that works. And then it becomes a program because you learn, oh, don't do this, so your behavior gets rewarded when you do this. Okay. So it's a big fucking deal, and it's still fucking with me now. And it's fucked with me my whole life, and I didn't even realize it until now. And this is why, and it's so good that I did, because now with this situation with this bitch, I fucking realize that these bitches, you better fucking watch out for these fucking bitches, because they'll just fucking play you like a fucking fiddle, and they don't give a fuck. They'll sit there and watch you run yourself into the ground, and they'll fucking won't even think twice about it. They don't give a fuck. They do not give a fuck. They're selfish as fuck. They are fucking selfish as fuck. And again, like I said, the only way I ever realized it was when I went through this shit 7 years ago. And I realized how selfish I was when I was going through this. And that's when I labeled this fucking issue that I'm having. I call it the selfish disease. Because nothing in the world fucking matters except for me right now. That's why I call it the selfish disease. Because anytime I try to focus on somebody or something else outside of myself or what affects me, it doesn't work. So I call it the selfish disease. I have to completely focus on myself and be almost completely 100% self-centered until I heal, before I can go back to, a give and take, let's say, relationship. My social, or my social anxiety is getting better. I walked into 7-Eleven today on my way to her house. I walked into 7-Eleven, paid for gas. Man, I went straight up to the counter, talked to the dude almost like normally, and even smiled. So it's good. I'm making progress. It's just right now, what it does when I burn myself out like I did last week, and I'm still on the tail end of this burnout right now, it's not good. It's a mind fuck. It's a huge mind fuck. But yeah, getting back to this bitch, man. Yeah, this is completely unacceptable. These bitches should be thrown in jail for this kind of shit. They should be chastised. This kind of behavior is unacceptable. You cannot treat people like this and expect nothing. I mean, the fact that these bitches can treat people like this and nothing becomes of it absolutely blows my fucking mind. It's terrible. It's a shame. I mean, it's almost embarrassing for me to say how much power and control that they actually have over me, or have had over me. And I just didn't realize it. Because I jumped, see, and this is the thing. My subconscious was so blocked and guarding itself, and I was running on such a fucking program, but I knew something was fucking wrong, that I would just get into arguments. I'd be like, fuck you, bitch, fuck you, suck my fucking dick, you worthless piece of shit. You know what I mean? And I'd come right back at them. But that's how I'm handling it different now. I didn't do that with Barry when she was texting me. But this is the thing. It's a game. This is the thing. No matter how you handle it, whatever. I have to cut it off because it's a fucking game to them. This bitch will not hesitate to do this again to me. I know for a fact. And there's no way in fucking hell I'm putting myself back in a goddamn position to be fucked over like this, to burn myself out, be stressed, be called all the names in the books, be told all this nasty shit about me, and absolutely have no opportunity for any kind of recourse whatsoever. So I got to be the bigger man and bury the hatchet and keep moving. You know what I mean? So, fuck these bitches, fuck their games, fuck their bullshit. They can suck a fucking dick.